Okay, so we have so much information, but so little information at the same time. So, Mass Effect, N7 Day, everybody who is a Mass Effect fan, new or old, y'all know that November 7th is N7 Day. It is, as you can see up there, it is the N7 units, it's Shepard's units. Has nothing to do with Ryder or Andromeda. Well, it does, but it's mainly comes out from Shepard. So there was this whole newsletter that came out of the N7 Day newsletter. We get them all the time. Now, what you might not have realized was there was a whole lot of binary code hidden within the message. There was little ones and zeros all over the place that definitely was like sneaking around. Like you can see a little one right there. So what does it all what does it mean? What does it translate out to? Well, funny enough, so Mass Effect news, I really wouldn't. I mean, I just caught them of like slipping on a easy piece of information. But one of the things that they did do was they tried to translate the ones and zeros. I think they might have messed it up. So Ilon, I'm going to say that's probably Ilos. Uh, so Ilos, if you don't know, is part of the Mass Effect universe. So like the ancient city. Actually, we'll go over to here. So Ilos is pretty much the last planet that you drop onto in Mass Effect 1, which again, what I was talking about in the last Let's Talk video going over all this stuff, like it feels like the Mass Effect 1 logo that they have is they're really retracing back to like something to do with bringing Andromeda and Shepard, the Ryder storyline, the Shepard storyline, bringing it all together into one thing. So Ilos, like the ancient human city of Troy, Ilos is a world known only through secondhand sources. References to Ilos have been found at several other Prothean ruins. Through direct study of the world is unlikely to occur. Ilos lies in a remote area of the Terminus system, only accessible by the legendary Mu Relay. 4,000 years ago, the Mu Relay was knocked out of position by a supernova and lost. Since then, Ilos and its cluster have been inaccessible. So that's the thing. All the human race and alien races in the universe of Mass Effect, nobody made the relays. They just use them. They don't know how to fix the relays. They just use them using FTL drives. They go from one planet to the next planet to the next planet. So what does that mean that the Mu Relay? So we use the Mu Relay and we end up, shooting over the Ilos. And now that we're getting this whole thing of, what is going on with Ilos? But more importantly, what is going on with the new character in Mass Effect? So the translation is Ilos, but what I'm thinking is this new character is maybe they're trying to get back to Ilos because they have some information. You do, if you remember, there is a Prothean that is alive on, in Shepard's storyline. And then also people have like zoomed way in. I don't know if I can do it on this. Can I? Oh, we absolutely can. So people have really, I'm talking really zoomed in on this poster right here, and what they have been noticing is possibly the Geth in the background, Angara, which is the newer alien species from Andromeda, and then so to me, this is really screaming back on the Citadel again, the same way that like this whole thing just feels like the Citadel also like in the future. This does not feel like, part of the modern or the Mass Effect 1 trilogy storyline that we had going on. So what I'm kind of wondering is there is a storyline where Aria from Omega. So Omega gets taken down during the Reaper invasion. Aria escapes from Omega, basically loses her whole grip over Omega and all that. What I'm kind of wondering is I know I said before like this is probably Liara. I'm thinking this could be Liara. This very well could be Liara. The reason why I say this is because a certain voice actor who plays Liara, um, Ali Hillis, actually said, "Well, this is interesting" on the video. Now, of course, Ali Hillis is working as Liara in the new Mass Effect. We've already seen the teaser trailer, showcasing her voiceover and all that. But I'm kind of almost wondering because again, this it doesn't really feel like Liara, but it could be because it's a new game. Who knows? Maybe Liara went through some training, becomes an assassin. What I'm wondering is maybe this is Aria. All right, so during the editing process of this, I started to have a memory flood back in of Aria actually like so the elusive man takes over Omega and Aria escapes to the Citadel. And then as Shepard, you end up going in, you help out Liara, you help out Aria basically take back Omega. But so before Shepard leaves, Arya reiterates her promises, saying she honors her debts. Her Ezo supply and a fleet are committed to the Galactic War, meaning so this is during Mass Effect 3. Now the first trailer that we've seen was during Mass Effect 2 when they're getting back. So the first teaser of Liara picking up the N7 piece, that is set during Mass Effect 2, when the elusive man works with Liara to find Shepard's body to bring him back during the Lazarus Project. Now this second teaser, I'm actually fully on board with. It's Aria that we're seeing because Aria actually she sneaks onto the Citadel after the elusive man takes over Omega. So after losing Omega to Cerberus, Arya flees to the Citadel, which is flooded with refugees from the Reaper assaults. It took CSEC 3 weeks to realize that she has not submitted to immigration processing, and she did indeed know methods to board the Citadel undetected. However, Arya simply calls the Asari counselor to have her cleared. When immigration officer shows up at her lair demanding her compliance, she spends her time lounging in the Purgatory Bar. So if we look at the Purgatory Bar, it looks very similar. So it's all they have to do is make another area of the bar that's lit up a little bit more. It's also Arya has the way that her coat is set up. It's very much in the same design as what we end up seeing on the artwork for this new protagonist character. So I think what we're seeing in this certain, because you can actually see you can see her jacket right here, it's the same like flip out jacket style that she has there. So you turn that into N7 armor, or she just she picks up an N7 armor and customizes it to her liking, and then she's there for 3 weeks on the Citadel. No one knows she's there. And by the way, again, I think this takes place during. So this latest teaser is actually during Mass Effect 3 when the Reaper invasion has happened. Also, you see the lighting on the Citadel, the way it looks pretty much similar exactly when you are going to see Ashley and Thane in the hospital. You look at the lighting, it's way more of like this kind of cream color. Everything is very dim and dark, and just it's like off white. It's not cheerful at all. The Reaper invasion is happening. There's a lot of refugees that are misplaced into the Citadel, and so why would Arya not bring together the worst of the worst to control what is essentially a ruckus of a Citadel? Could this end up being like, FemShep is working alongside Arya to get back the crew, get back to Normandy, and then also runs into Ryder? And could it be Ryder's sister? I've seen a lot of fan theories going around of different stuff. I do say, like, if they brought in the Ryders, I'd love to see the other half of the Ryders get brought into the storyline, because we didn't really get to see whether you were male or female Ryder. Your sibling is just laid out in the pod the whole game. And again, Andromeda, for all the world building that it does, it's kind of really bad at the storyline of just like pushing in the new characters and all that. There's a reason why a lot of people didn't like Andromeda. There's a lot of reasons why people did like Andromeda. So if they are trying to take and mash together everything, it would actually like this would actually be a very good way of doing it. Bring both Shepard back from the dead, and then also bring in Ryder. Now we don't know when this also takes place. This could take place. This could be like a side or a intermission story that is maybe not Mass Effect 4, 5. So also that's a whole other. So the Epsilon. So one of the things that we were seeing, I don't know if it's actually talk about the statue. So FemShep statue over here that they're pushing out alongside the teaser image of this new character or this returning character. We don't know who exactly it is, but one of the words that popped up was epsilon. So epsilon is the fifth letter of the Greek alphabet, corresponding phonetically to a mid-front unrounded vowel. I'm not even going to attempt to go through the rest of it, but the fifth letter of the Greek alphabet. So that could mean Mass Effect 5. I think that's where people would just jump to a conclusion on it being Mass Effect 5. But listen to this. So if you type in space term epsilon, so epsilon can refer to two different things. First thing referred to as primitive of an insulating material, which is commonly symbolized by the Greek letter epsilon. It's a fifth Greek letter. Second, it can refer to a solid fuel rocket that debuted in September 2013 and can deliver up to 2,600 pounds to low Earth orbit. All 5 Epsilon missions to date have been successful. Where are we at the end of Mass Effect 3 with Shepard's storyline of what is technically what is possibly the conclusion of Shepard's storyline? We are on Earth. We are doing low Earth orbit missions trying to bring supplies and soldiers and everything else in while the Reapers have taken over every single planet. They're taking over every single species that is out there. The Reapers are doing their job of cleansing the universe, and then all of a sudden from low Earth orbit, Shepard goes flying up through in the tractor beam thing, and goes up to the space station, and what ends up happening at the end of Mass Effect 3. So, on top of that, something else to keep in mind, because we have seen Andromeda, that we have seen the word Andromeda show up. Now, if you keep in mind, the Andromeda Galaxy is a barred spiral galaxy and is the nearest major galaxy to the Milky Way. It was originally named Andromeda. Okay, so it's the next galaxy over from ours. Sure, that is a long ways away. You have to go into deep space, sleep, and all that. And I do believe there is one of the side audios. I am going to go back and replay Andromeda. I only played it like once, I think, back in the day, and I can't remember a whole hell of a lot of Andromeda, but I do remember, because it's just one of those things that sticks in your brain, that one of the side things that tries to tie Andromeda even more so in with the Shepard storyline is they do get encrypted messages back from Liara saying that the Reapers have come and attacked and all that. So you see no Reaper. This is one of the weird things with Andromeda also. You see no Reaper threat at all, even though it's the next galaxy over and the Reapers are supposed to. There's so many Reapers that they span across all galaxies and wipe out all life forms that there is and enslave them and imprison them and all that stuff. You don't ever run into the Reapers in Andromeda, which was just a very weird thing with Andromeda. So I wonder if the Andromeda storyline gets tied in with this new Mass Effect, and this might not actually be like Mass Effect 4 or 5. This might be just another spin-off, like not even an Andromeda 2, but something to tie both of them together while they are actually working on for 3, 4, 5 years from now. Maybe this might be a smaller Mass Effect title, and this might actually be more of a spin-off just to, the middle ground to bring Shepard back from the dead, to bring in Ryder. Maybe this is Aria, maybe this is Liara, to set up that whole storyline thing. And then what we end up having is the actual Mass Effect. I still want to say Mass Effect 4. Yes, they are giving you the whole Epsilon thing of Mass Effect. That would technically be Mass Effect 5. Maybe Mass Effect 4 is a tie over, and it is like just a smaller Mass Effect, so then they can end up tie over to the actual like Mass Effect 5. It's hard to tell. We are yeah, I again though, I think the Game Awards, we're going to end up seeing this front and center stage. I think this Game Awards is going to be epic mega Game Awards that everybody is going to be talking about. It's a Game Awards that is ending the year on one of the biggest years for game releases we've ever seen. So why not have Mass Effect? Why not have Grand Theft Auto? Why not have all these different titles that everybody's been clamoring for and waiting for? So with the newest information, again, I think maybe Aria is possibly this. So I don't know if this is going to be the protagonist or the antagonist in this. Is this the hero or the villain? I don't know. This could be an undercover Aria, or maybe she's working with N7. Again, it could very well be Liara, and maybe Liara's learned some. She was Shadow Broker, so she turns into an assassin, starts hunting down targets for the Elusive Man. And this takes place during that time when the Elusive Man is trying to get as much funding, because they keep talking about, like, and that would actually set up, so that would actually set up for it to be a middle ground Mass Effect, where it's not Mass Effect 4 or 5 or Andromeda 2 or anything. This is like Liara's story of you bringing back Shepard. And then Mass Effect 3, we end up, Mass Effect 3 stays canon, and then we go into whatever the whole thing, the deal is between. It's, again, I don't know where the storyline is going. Nobody knows where the storyline is going, but it's super intriguing to see where it heads. I just hope they don't mess it up. This is the best storyline in gaming. I will still stand by that. I will still say it's just the direction, the pacing, the characters, the ship, of the ship is the house, and all your people that are in there are like family with you, except for the ones that you're also getting with. That's, yeah. It's your crew. It is your family, but it's your crew, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mass Effect is back, and they are playing something epic for this. I just hope it just holds up. That's what we're looking for. Don't focus on online whatsoever at all. Don't focus on always online or online modes or anything. Just focus on the single player. Do like a Star Wars, type of, that's what was it, Fallen Order Jedi Survivor. Do that type of thing, like make it an epic storyline going on with this, and I think everybody will be really, really in tune and ready to go. Seems like we're getting that with between the Star Wars stuff, between the Dragon Age stuff, and now Mass Effect coming back. Feels like EA is really, really dipping into the single player stuff, so could be very cool going forward. Anyways, yeah, that's about as much as we have until maybe next month on the Game Awards. Game Awards is December 7th, by the way. I will be live streaming that, be live for the Game Awards. And hopefully, again, I'm going to be right there at the edge of my seat, hoping for a new Mass Effect trailer. Come on, Jeff. Come on, BioWare. You got this. I'm really hoping for it. I can't guarantee you that we're going to be seeing it, but I'm really hoping for it. I'm rooting for it. So, yeah. Anyways. Like, sub, hit the bell notification. You know what to do on all that stuff. And I might be streaming a little bit of Andromeda. Maybe I'll jump into the first opening parts of it and all that. Try not to cringe too much. I just remember Andromeda being really cringy on the character dialogue and such. Like, they were, again, Mass Effect is one of the best. It's probably the best series I've ever seen, where you jump into the world and the universe. All the characters are setting up the world and the universe. They already know what's going on, and you are just there for the ride. You are learning alongside, and then there is stuff that is happening where the characters are like, what the hell? And you are learning alongside those characters at the same time they are building the world for you. I think it's pinnacle storytelling. It's one of the best ways of setting up a universe and doing all this stuff. So again, I'm really hoping that's what we get at this new Mass Effect also in that aspect there. So yeah. That's gonna do it. So Mass Effect will continue. It's on its way back. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, I will see ya next time. Have a good N7.